To the issue of bail reform, getting more national attention from President Biden to New York City's mayor, some arguing the system as it stands now doesn't work. But there's a range of opinions on how best to treat people fairly while keeping dangerous criminals off the streets. ABC's Zachary Quiche has more.
A national discussion is intensifying this morning over the issue of bail reform. It's all part of the president's plan to stop the overuse and misuse of jails and reform a criminal justice system that has unequally punished the poor and people of color. But former police captain and current mayor Eric Adams sees it differently. He believes judges should take into account the dangerousness of the suspect and whether or not they pose a threat to the community when deciding bail.
We need to reform a broken system. And what I am saying to them, there are parts that we need to tweak.
Some say a 16-year-old boy charged with shooting an NYPD officer earlier this month, who was released on bond Thursday, is a glaring example of the problem. According to the Times-Union, in the year after New York banned detaining people on a wide range of criminal charges, nearly 100,000 cases saw adults released for offenses a judge could have previously set bail or ordered them held in custody. About 1% of the cases involved people who were rearrested again on violent charges involving a firearm while the initial case was pending. It's been an emotional week for the NYPD. Thousands lined Fifth Avenue in Manhattan to honor the life of Officer Jason Rivera, a 22-year-old rookie.
That same week, as we're preparing for a funeral for one of those officers, a man who shot another police officer in the Bronx, 16-year-old guy, is let free on bail. What does that send to the rank and file of the NYPD?
It's not just in New York. In Milwaukee, police say the man accused of opening fire on one of their own officers this past week was out on bail at the time of the shooting. And it's not just shootings. Police in Los Angeles say they're fighting a losing game of catch and release. After a string of violent smash and grabs in December, 14 suspects were arrested, and not one suspect spent more than one day in jail.
The vast majority of crime is committed by relatively few people. And when the few people are constantly gaming the system to understand its weaknesses, the system needs to protect all of communities from those individuals.
Proponents of bail reform insist the system disproportionately targets the poor and minority communities.
The only thing the bail reform laws did was make it clear that we should not be locking up people charged with low-level offenses and doing so to compel dispositions to keep the criminal legal system moving down the track, so to speak, and to keep cases off judges' dockets and ultimately to criminalize populations of color.
The president will be in New York this week to discuss the administration's plans on how to curb gun violence.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.